question out of the way first. Any update on PJ's status?
No. You know, what I've said continuously, and I think fairly consistently, is that there's a process that we're going through. He's been assigned some things that he has to do, and he's achieved some of those already. He's got some more. And I promise everybody, we're not going to go in on game night and say, oh yeah, PJ, you're not playing tonight. We'll make an announcement before that, but right now he's still going through the process. We're going through the process, and we'll wait and see what happens.
Coach, you said 18 days of extra preseason or conditioning work at media day. Have you continued to do that with him through that, or did that stop going into practice?
That was some of the things that he had to do to be put back on the team in an area where he could participate in practice. When I suspended him indefinitely, which I think is silly to be honest with you, because what was I suspending him from? You know, he wasn't even in school, but it satisfied some people, so I guess that's all right. But I did tell him that he had to do all these things before practice started, and if he didn't do them, then he wasn't going to be part of the team. And so he's taking care of those. But since practice started, I don't think I've asked him to run one sprint more than everybody else. I've had the freshmen run a little bit more, but not him. Well, it's something a little unknown because I haven't gone completely through the process yet. But I don't think about that all the time every day. It's something that the players understand. I would bet if you asked Marcus and Bryce here today, has it been a distraction? My guess is that not a one of them said yes. You know, I mean, we're practicing, we're working as a team, and as I say, we're still going to make that decision later on.
Surprised at the reaction, the negative reaction of PJ, the level of it, the intensity of it? Surprised
by the intensity, probably some, but you know, it's a different world, you know, than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The social media, the culture that we're in, media period, because there has been. You know, it's been almost a hatred kind of thing at some points, and it's. But you know, I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. You know, there's no question. I've said that since day one. But the intensity of the disagreement of every maneuver has been very hard to handle.
How are Joel and Kennedy doing with getting in shape?
Joel is early in this in the spring. He skipped some time because both knees were bothering him. Did a lot of rehab, and then once June got here, he's worked his tail off. He's in great shape. He's an impressive physical specimen. Kennedy was the other direction. He was 317 when he came in, and now he finished practice on Monday at 281. Now that's at the end of practice. But both of them are running better. Joel understands it a little bit more. Kennedy's still going through that process of understanding and going. But they don't have to outrun the other team's point guard, but they have to outrun the other team's big guys. And so that's something that they're understanding better.
Now you've had a few weeks of practice. What have you seen from the freshmen so far?
Nate gives us another true point guard that we haven't had the last couple of years, so I love that. He really is understanding, pushing the pace. Now we got to get him to get under control when he does get there, but he's really pushing the pace very well. I will play two little guys together sometimes this year. Luke Davis has done a nice job. I don't think I'll ever play Luke, Marcus, and Nate all three together. I said, somebody asked me that, and I said it'd be like a team full of jockeys. But we play basketball, you need to be a little bit bigger. But I'll play two of the little guys together, and Nate has really done some good things. Isaiah, a guy got 30 rebounds in the state finals. That's as big as it can get in high school basketball. So if he can rebound it like that on that stage, then we expect him to do the same thing. Very athletic. Right now, just sort of roaming around trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. Kennedy has really had a successful preseason. He really has. Gives us an inside score, a strictly low post inside score that we didn't have last year. So all three of them will play a lot for us.
Coach, only a few weeks in, have you seen enough out of Kennedy or Joel or Desmond at that 5 spot to think that one of those guys kind of grab that spot?
Nobody's stepped up and taken it yet. You know, Desmond sprained his ankles, missed the last 3 or 4 practices. Joel missed a couple of practices. Kennedy hasn't missed practices yet, but I think that's going to be not just a couple of days, it'll be a couple of weeks, maybe even longer.
How have you seen it, Bryce, play ball, especially as a defensive guy?
Well, you know, to me, Bryce has been a scorer and a guy who can shoot the ball in the basket. I think he can still do that. We need him to rebound it more, need him to defend around the rim more, but he does have an ability to score, and different stages of the game you need that more than you need the defensive play. But he is stronger. He doesn't necessarily look much different than he did last year, but I think he plays stronger and more effectively.
Do you think in his career so far maybe James Michael hasn't played his natural position and now these big guys will let him do that? Or do you think you've had to use him in ways you wouldn't normally if you didn't have to?
Well, I think he's played his natural position because he's more of a 4-man than he is a 3-man because of his abilities, ball handling, everything. But he's the only time that he's had a 5-man in there to play the post defense, to post up, was his freshman year, those few games after John was out, and he played with Tyler Zeller. And those were pretty doggone good times. And so I think it's been a shame that he hasn't had that low post presence to play with and enable him to do some other things. But in some ways it's also made his game, given a greater variety to his game. And the good thing is with James Michael, I still don't know how good he's going to be, but I know it's a pretty doggone good problem to have.
You guys were saying earlier, they can really tell that he was more dedicated through summer. He's more focused, more intense now. Is that something you've also noticed kind of come through the beginning of practice?
Yeah, after the season's over, his back was bothering him, so he didn't play for quite a while. And man, when he started back in June, it's very disciplined, very devoted, working hard with Jonas in the weight room, working hard with Coach Davis on the shot, working hard in practice. But practice doesn't make perfect; it's perfect practice. And I think that's been the biggest change. And he's really tried to do all those things that makes you a better player.